especially like the majority of these movements now are just kind of like, they're for black people. Like, for example, the Breonna Taylor case, honestly, Black Lives Matter should be like, they should go to jail for fraud, because what they did is so obscenely like foul that literally like even the mother of Breonna Taylor was like, I've never met any of these Black Lives Matter people. I've never seen a penny that you guys raised for my family.
I've never heard about that.
Yeah, she literally, again, why do you think no one ever heard about it? Because nobody cares when it goes against the agenda of, oh, we need justice for Breonna Taylor, blah, blah, blah. And it's just obscene that the mother literally had to go on TV and be like, if I walked in the room, you guys wouldn't know who I am. You raised all this money for the family, and we never asked for the money, and we've never seen a penny of the money that you guys raised. And then they were just going down the list. The mom was going down the list. And so it's just crazy.
The leader of a group called Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta was arrested by the FBI today on fraud charges. Agents raided a home in Toledo, Ohio, and arrested Sir Major Page, whose real name is Tyree Conyers Page. He's accused of using more than $200,000 in donations from the Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta social media page to pay for personal items. That includes food, entertainment, furniture, and tailored suits. The FBI says he told people asking about the money that it would be going to causes related to social justice.
It started as a hashtag in 2013. It became a global phenomenon in 2020. Whether you want to bend the knee or not, you can't deny Black Lives Matter has swept the world.
I'm tired of my black men and my black women being shot, being killed by the NYPD. I'm tired of it.
2020 was BLM's year. $90 million in donations. Around 20 million people in the US alone took to the streets last summer. 550 places of protest. A year on, where are they? Well, around 13% of them have put down their I Can't Breathe placards. That's how much support for BLM has dropped in a year, according to a recent poll. And the ugly truth seems to be that BLM itself might be to blame. Black communities were told a revolution was on its way. But now, many of them feel like pawns in a politicized media circus.
They are benefiting from the blood of our loved ones and won't even talk to us. We don't want or need you all parading in the streets, accumulating donations, platforms, movie deals, etc. of the death of our loved ones, while the families and communities are left clueless and broken.
And grieving parents who sought comfort in the racial justice group that promised to honor those who died at the hands of police realized that there was no comfort to be found.
I could walk in a room full of people who claim to be here for Breonna's family, who don't even know who I am. I've watched y'all raise money on behalf of Breonna's family. Talk about fraud. Enough is enough.
It's not just moral fraud by abusing the trust of vulnerable people. There are allegations of financial fraud too, with local BLM centers themselves casting doubt on the source of donations and where the money goes, because they say it doesn't go to them. And while these questions are asked, the BLM co-founders caught splurging on a 2,700 square foot home for $1.4 million to add to her collection of other multi-million-dollar properties. A controversy that saw Cullors resign, never to face up to those she's let down.
Now, she doesn't have to show her accountability. She can just take the money and run.
Run towards a multi-year deal with the Warner Brothers to produce a number of TV projects, a Hollywood life to match that LA home she bought. To dismiss this as angry, spiteful, anti-woke criticism just isn't fair, because these aren't a few lone voices on the outside. No, these are mostly critics from within, and they're growing louder and louder.
I was an insider in Black Lives Matter, and I learned the ugly truth. The moratorium on charter schools does not support rebuilding the black family, but it does create barriers to a better education for black children. I resigned from Black Lives Matter after a year and a half.
BLM flags still hang as symbols of a fight for a better future. But as more scandals come to light, as more doubt is cast on the organization, its goals, its priorities, its honesty, one can ask, has Black Lives Matter failed to live up to its name? And is it that actually, at the end of the day, money, fame, and power matter the most?
The Black Lives Matter organization leaders were ever connected to the base, it was a Trojan horse. They used the unfortunate situations such as Michael Brown or George Floyd, and they used it as an opportunity to raise money. How do I know that? Because we know that a huge portion of money was collected, but the families never received any compensation for their grief, and the local chapters themselves did not receive any money. These people don't care about Black lives. They're simply using it as a springboard and as an opportunity to generate wealth for themselves. But when you raise that amount of money, and then there's no accountability and no one can see at a local level or national level where that money is going, people have a right to question, and I'm just surprised it didn't happen sooner.